All right, let's talk about something you see every single day, but maybe never really think about: the world around you. We're going to uncover the hidden economic forces that decide, where a city stops and a forest begins. It's a powerful way of seeing the ground beneath our feet, and it all kicks off with one really simple question.
You know that feeling, right? You're driving, surrounded by buildings and traffic, and then bam, it's just open fields as far as the eye can see. It feels like someone just drew a line on a map. But it's not random at all. There is a powerful, invisible economic logic at play, and we are going to break it down piece by piece.
So, to really get why that boundary exists, we need to put on our economist's hats. And that means we have to start with two completely different ways of looking at the problem. On one hand, you've got what's called positive analysis. This just asks, how do things actually work? It's all about describing reality. On the other hand, there's normative analysis, which asks, how should things work for the best possible outcome? For what we're doing here, we're going to stick completely to that first question, the what is, to build a model of how the world really operates. Now, it's super important to get this one concept out of the way. Sometimes, a decision that's super profitable for one person isn't so great for everybody else. Think about a factory that pollutes a river. Economists have a name for this: market failure. We're going to put a pin in that for now, but just keep it in the back of your mind. It's a huge piece of the bigger puzzle. Okay, so how do we build a model that explains all this? You know the rule. We start simple. Like, really simple. The absolute most basic scenario you can possibly imagine for a landowner. Picture this. You're a landowner. You've got one piece of land, and you can do one of two things with it. Let's say farming or forestry. In this super simple model, your one and only goal is to maximize your profit. You just ask, which choice is going to make me more money? And if we assume that every single acre is identical, like each acre of farmland is going to bring you exactly $500, well, then the decision is a total no-brainer. The math is about as simple as it gets. So, in this simple world, the logic is crystal clear. You never split the difference. You go all in on whatever makes you the most cash. Economists have a cool name for this. They call it a corner solution, because you basically back yourself into one corner: 100% farming, 0% forestry. But come on, you and I both know the real world is way messier than that. We almost never see entire regions dedicated to just one single thing. So to make our model actually useful, we need to start adding some layers of reality.
The first layer is a total classic in economics: diminishing returns. Think of it like this. It's kind of like eating pizza. That first slice is amazing, right? But by the time you get to the 10th slice, not so much. The same thing happens with land. That first acre you farm is your most profitable, but as you expand, each new acre you add gets a little less profitable than the last.
And this right here is a huge reason why we see a mix of things in the real world. The best strategy isn't to go all in anymore. Nope. Instead, you keep adding acres to farming right up until that very next acre would actually make you more money if you used it as a forest. It becomes a perfect balancing act. Okay, next layer of reality. Not all land is created equal, right? Some land has that rich soil, it's perfect for farming. Other land might be super rocky and hilly, maybe better for trees. Economists capture this whole idea with a simple quality index they just call Q. And this leads to a really cool idea: the cutoff value. For any two things you could do with the land, there's a specific quality level where the profitability just flips. All the land with a quality below that line is best for one thing, and all the land above it is best for the other. This is what starts to create those sharp boundaries you see on a map.
But hang on, these decisions aren't just made in a single moment. Land use is a long-term game, and that brings us to the next critical piece of our model: time.
This one is a biggie. Some choices, you just can't undo them. Once you develop a beautiful forest into a housing subdivision, well, you can't just easily turn it back into a forest. That makes the timing of your decision absolutely critical. And what you do today creates ripples into the future. This idea of stock effects is all about how using your land now, say with really intensive farming, can actually use up a resource, like the quality of your soil. That degradation, that stock effect, has a direct impact on how much money you can make from that land down the road. So, the million-dollar question is, when is the absolute perfect moment to make that irreversible change? Well, it's not just when the new thing becomes more profitable today.
The sweet spot, that's D prime on the timeline, is the exact moment when all the future profits you expect from the new use finally outweigh the profits of just sticking with the old one. If you convert too early or too late, you're literally just leaving money on the table.
Okay, deep breath. We've got diminishing returns, we've got land quality, we've got time. Now, for the last two pieces of the puzzle that bring our model firmly into the messy, unpredictable real world: uncertainty and location.
I mean, let's be real. Nobody has a crystal ball. You don't know for sure what crop prices will be next year or how much demand there will be for new houses. And this uncertainty, it's not just an annoyance. It fundamentally changes the entire calculation.
And this leads to a super fascinating conclusion. Because you might learn something new tomorrow. Maybe there's a new technology or market trends become clearer. There's a real, tangible economic value to simply waiting. By not developing your land today, you keep your options open, and that flexibility is a valuable asset all by itself. And finally, the oldest rule in the book: location, location, location. The closer a piece of land is to the center of a city, the more people are willing to pay for it. Why? Well, because the farther out you go, the more you have to spend on things like shipping your goods or just commuting to work. This eats away at your profits. And that relationship is captured perfectly by something called the bid-rent function.
Okay, so we started with a super simple black and white choice, and we have added all these different layers of reality. So let's put all the pieces together and see the final picture that we've built.
And there it is. The landscape we see every single day is basically an economic map, shaped by all these competing forces. It's this dynamic, constantly shifting balance between profit, the quality of the land itself, the cost of distance, uncertainty about the future, and the irreversible passage of time. It's the whole shebang. It's what creates those lines between our cities, our suburbs, our farms, and our forests.
So here's the real takeaway. The next time you drive out of the city and see the landscape change, you're not just seeing geography anymore. You are watching economics made visible. You are seeing the invisible hand of profit, quality, distance, and time drawing the map of our world right in front of you. You won't just see what is there, you'll finally understand why.